infinite power.
Welcome back to the XMC Cabin Fever World Cup.
Canada's greatest gift to the world since maple syrup and Nathan Fillion.
You are absolutely correct. My name is Jake.
And I'm the elusive Ken.
Before we get started, if you have not seen the last race or missed the start of the tournament, be sure to click the links in the description of the video.
After the last two races, J.K. Stalling, Pat Benacar, Brittany Steers, and Alice Cooper joined the ranks in the semifinals.
Today's race will feature the best of the best from round one of the tournament. So without further ado, let's introduce you to all of today's contestants.
I can smell the burning rubber as we speak.
First up is Shaquille O'Wheel, being driven by the redneck with no fear, Mike. Not only is this the best looking car in the XMC, but its speed and control on the track make it a formidable opponent. This heavy beast won't let anyone get in its way.
Next up is Otto Bon Jovi, driven by our unluckiest driver, Dr. Dre. This car is more than proved its ability this tournament. Its short length, high speed, and ability to maintain control makes this a top contender for the finals, and is my choice to take the win today.
Third up is Pat Benacar, driven by the master of eliminating evidence, Mrs. Clean. This is a winner even before starting the engine. The fastest car in the XMC and is my choice for the finals. I just hope Mrs. Clean can keep it on the road.
Last up is J.K. Stalling, driven by the only person to major in bovine holistic medicine, Dr. Salty. This is one of the best rounded cars in the XMC. Not a lot of downsides, except being slightly slower in the straightaways versus the competition, which may hurt its chances of getting into the finals.
The time has come to see who will be the first two cars to enter the finals. All cars are fueled up and waiting at the start line. Let's move there now.
And they're off.
Jovi in the lead, being pushed sideways into Sun Peaks.
Shaq and Pat rubbing paint.
Jovi still leading through Rockslide Ridge, followed loosely by Stalling.
Dipping into Cajun Corner. Nice reverse drift by Jovi.
Jovi through the tunnel now. Rounding the bend, and takes the win.
Stalling incoming, and takes second.
Shaq lagging behind, but takes third place.
A great first race. This group of cars are showing they mean business. Joey was not looking good going into Sun Peaks, but managed to pull out ahead. Unfortunately, Pat Benacar stalled out just before Rockslide Ridge. Very unfortunate.
At the end of round one, Otto Bon Jovi rockets the first with 5 points. J.K. Stalling close behind with 3 points, and Shaquille O'Wheel in third with 2.
Let's move on to race 2 now to see if Pat Benacar can make it onto the scoreboard. Out of the gate.
Shaq in the lead into the first turn.
Shaq taking Sun Peaks like a boss.
Just to lose it on the straight.
Pat pulls ahead now into the lead.
Jovi has stalled out.
Pat Benacar making its way through Cajun Corner.
Through the tunnel. Across the bridge. And takes the win.
Shaq coming in hot. And flips. And still takes second.
That was one heck of a race. Pat Benacar showing his true colors now.
And how about Shaq taking second there? Even after flipping over, still managing to finish.
Mike knows how to make an entrance, Ken, that's for sure. Stalling got Jovi back on track just to take its place.
Too bad Dr. Dre lost control through Cajun Corner and hit the wall dead on. And you know, you would think the local wildlife would find a better place to nest at this point.
After race 2, we see a first ever three-way tie between Shaquille O'Wheel, Otto Bon Jovi, and Pat Benacar. J.K. Stalling is in last, but only trailing by 2 points.
Things are starting to heat up now. Let's move on to race 3.
A great start.
Stalling in the lead through Sun Peaks.
Stalling through Rockslide Ridge, followed in tow by Pat.
Stalling pulling sweet moves through Cajun Corner. Through the tunnel now. Round the bend, and takes the win!
Jovi making its way through the tunnel now. Across the bridge. And takes second.
Stalling absolutely rocketed across the finish line for the win. Such a crazy lead on Jovi. Mrs. Clean hit the gas instead of the brake and ramped into the abyss on the Cajun speed trap. And it seems Shaq got stalled out just before the tunnel.
After race 3, J.K. Stalling and Autobahn Jovi are tied neck and neck with 8 points. And Pat Benacar and Shaquille O'Wheel are tied for second, only trailing by 3 points. This is an incredibly close round.
We would like to take a quick moment to thank our Patreons. Your support is godly. We recently designed a trophy for the tournament that is free for anyone to download and 3D print for themselves. Links are in the description. Now let's get back to race 4 of the semifinals. And they're up.
JK in the lead.
Pat has lost it.
Stalling still in the lead through some pits and starts spinning.
Jovi pulling ahead now into Rockslide Ridge.
Jovi and Pat fighting for second.
In the Cajun corner now.
JK flies off the cliff.
Jovi losing control sideways into the tunnel, but managing to make it through. Across the bridge now. Rounding the bend. And takes first.
Pat Benacar incoming and takes second. Followed by Shaq for third.
Wow, there is a lot to unravel this race. It looks like Pat Benacar got taken out by a rock that unlodged from its own fender, but then managed to get control back. After fighting for second, Stalling managed to pull ahead just to go skydiving from Cajun corner.
Pat Benacar hit the tire wall, and that did not even stop it. Nicely done, Mrs. Cleed.
I even love that show park at the end. Great finish.
At the end of race 4, Autobahn Jovi takes first place by a mile with 13 points. Tied in second place is Pat Benacar and J.K. Stalling with 8 points. And Mike just could not make it happen, driving Shaquille O'Wheel into a pit of despair at last place with 7 points.
But there could be only 2 finalists that can move on in this tournament, so it's time for a little overtime.
Pat Benacar and J.K. Stalling are ready. Let's start the head-to-head race.
And they're off. Jovi in the lead.
Pat is losing control, hitting everything in sight.
Jovi slowed a bit. Gets kissed by Pat.
A romantic outing through Rockslide Ridge.
Dipping into Cajun corner. And Stalling goes skydiving.
Wow. All Pat needs to do now is finish the race. Through the bend. And takes the win.
That was a hard landing. I think he almost didn't make it.
You're right on that one, Ken. A reminder to never get cocky.
Hank the Line also got slapped pretty bad, but it looks like he's walking it off. Yeah, I think it's okay, everyone.
Looks like our picks for the finals were right on the money.
Autobahn Jovi and Pat Benacar become our first contestants to enter the finals. Congratulations to you both. It was well earned.
And Shaquille O'Wheel and J.K. Stalling are thrown into the nuclear graveyard. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kinda sad to see them go.
There will be a Road Flare Vigil later tonight in remembrance of the chaos. Pay your respects now by clicking that subscribe button, ringing the bell, and giving the video a like.
Our next race is featuring the semi-finalists from the double elimination bracket and is on track to be another high-octane race. I personally cannot wait to see Alice Cooper and White Betty race together once again, but until then, have a great weekend, everyone. See you next time on the Xtreme Mountain Challenge.